What's up, YouTube? What's up, but hey, look here, man. You know how we start the thing off every time, bro. We start the thing off the same way. If you got a loved one, anybody doing time in prison, state or federal prison, send them a copy of Street Elements magazine. Send them a copy of Street Elements magazine, the #1 magazine publication in the nation. Believe that. Hey, it is what it is. That's what the guys tell me, man. It's the #1 publication in the nation, man. This story right here, right? I'm basically going to tell you how, after starting this magazine publication, I ended up going to federal prison. Now, this after I got out of state prison from my racketeering case. All right. Now, I think I had shot a video about describing what happened on the interstate when I was driving and got pulled over with the 4 keys, right? I got pulled over with the 4 kilos of cocaine. I was in my truck. I was on I-75 heading south. Just had got on the interstate. Prior to that, like an hour before that, I seen the state troopers on the side of the road posted up doing their normal sting operation. And like maybe a few weeks ago or maybe like a month ago prior to that, I remember seeing them on I-4 when I was coming back from Daytona way, and we passed through them. I mean, I was shaking them. I was shaking, man, we was shaking them with me and Cuzzo, and we had the plug in the back seat, the middle guy, we had him in the back seat, and we slid through. But boy, look at here, that was a sign right there saying, man, get your ass off the road. Now, the only reason I'm on the road right now moving, transporting, because at this time I'm on out of prison, 2004, 2005, 2006, maybe 2.5 years before I end up getting jammed up with these 4 bricks on the interstate. And this is the first time I ever got caught with some drugs, literally. The first time I ever got caught with some drugs, I got caught with 4 kilos. And this was because I was transporting the drugs at the time. Before then, prior to then, I was dealing with Colombians, and it was front door service. You know, they'll get it down here to the city, and then that may have a couple of stash houses or whatever, and we'll get rid of it like that. Times changed when I got out. For when I went in and when I caught my case in '99, the racketeering case, got railroaded, basically, no evidence, no nothing. A whole bunch of people just jumping on the case. A guy in particular jumped on my case, lied on me and my homeboys, and they tried to use his testimony to basically put me in possession of some type of drugs or anything like that. But it was all a badass case, and this is when I learned that the system will do anything to get you off the streets. You know, that particular situation, I learned that they will do anything to get you off the streets, regardless if they right or wrong. And that was my mentality to say, okay, I need to get up out of the game, right? But I got back in the game because, hey, I'm used to making money. Got back in the game like so many of us do, get right back in the game. But this time, I got caught with 4 bricks, all right? The lucky thing about that, the great thing about that, it's going to sound crazy, right? But the best thing about it, I got caught on the interstate. It wasn't no conspiracy. I didn't have no co-defendants. I didn't have to worry about guys jumping on the case because it wasn't being investigated by no DEA agents or no Tampa police quad squad. It was something that happened isolated on its own on the interstate, and that's what really saved me. If I probably would have caught that case in Tampa and got jammed up with 4 bricks, and then would have been on a bus, now I'm hit with a conspiracy, and that case could have been a lot worse. And a matter of fact, after I got caught with this and started doing time, a few guys in the city called the case, and my name came up as possibly being the supplier of one of the guys in the case, and that guy did start cooperating. So, you see, this how the universe works sometimes. Sometimes the universe will remove you from a situation because you haven't learned your lesson. It will remove you to save you. See, sometimes prisons save people. It ain't always for a punishment. Sometimes the universe have better plans for you, and you have to be saved, and they come snatch you and put you in a place to incubate you for a while. You see, incubate you for a while. Let me tell you something. This book right here, Natural Psychology and Human Transformation. I done had this book in state prison, and I done had this book in federal prison, and I still got this book today, and I keep it next to me. This book right here means everything. It's changed my life, changed my way of thinking on a whole nother level. All right. But anyway, when I got caught with these 4 bricks at the time, I got away. I actually got away from the scene of the crime, the scene of the stop and everything. I got away. That's a whole nother story. I'm gonna put you up on that. But I got away. I ran and got away. The thing was going through my head at the time, after I caught that case. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to the part where I ran and did all this stuff and had to get back to the house. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I'm just saying, after I got caught with the 4 bricks I ended up getting arrested at my lawyer office, a lawyer that I was going to use turned me in. You see, so that's how I got arrested. I was thinking, like, damn, I'm gonna have to go sit down on this one, bro. I'm caught red-handed. I already know, man, I could do about 10 years. I'm ready to go do about 10 right now. I'm hoping that they give me 10. You see, I'm hoping that I can get 10 years. This is the mentality I had at the time. You know, you in the streets, you accept your responsibility, and you know if possible, I got to go do some time. Let me go ahead and do mine and come back home. That's how I was raised. That's how I was trained. Them the type of guys that I came around, so that's why I took that mentality. Man, go ahead and do that time and come on back home. I always know that you can get the best deal possible. Meaning, let me go ahead and play out now. It ain't no need for me to fight. Well, I'm gonna fight. What I'm gonna fight for? I already know I'm wrong. I'm gonna lose in court. I just came out of state prison. I see how they play in state prison. Why the hell I'm gonna try this federal government with playing with them like I'm gonna take them to trial? You'll be a damn fool. I'm from the cop out, accept responsibility. Hey man, I was wrong. You know, I was wrong, man. Boom. Period. But anyway, most people, most men anyway, and probably the same thing for women. When you out there in the streets and you've been involved for a long time, you can kind of get up in age, 25, 30 years old, and you know, taking care of business for your family. Man, when them people put them handcuffs on you, you have to really ask yourself, man, are you going to be able to do this time and your family members still be alive when you get out? Because it's always a possibility that one of your family members can die while you in prison and you can't do nothing. They're not going to even let you go see them most of the time. So you have to really think about that, bro. That's why I say this shit, when you really look at everything, it ain't really worth it. You know, you really investing, risking your life really for just maybe you in the game 5, 6 years, what? Maybe a couple of 100,000, 500,000, 600,000, 600,000 maybe. You know, all the other money you really just putting back out there in the street and back in circulation. You ain't really coming up like you think. You know, you may get lucky, make you a couple of millions. If you got plugs like that, you have a long enough run out there in the streets. But how many of us gonna have that opportunity, my nigga? You know, how many of us gonna have that opportunity to be able to stay in the streets that long to really make that type of impact? And then you got to keep in mind, if you making that type of impact, what type of impact they gonna make on you when they come sit your ass down? You feel me? What type of impact, what type of example they gonna make out of you, you know, when they come sit you down for all the shit you've been doing out here in the streets? You know, I didn't really think about that. I mean, it was times when I was in the game, right? I had the opportunity to take it a little further. But I had to realize when I was going a little further in the game, I started realizing how slimy this shit was. And I was like, man, damn, why? I'm gonna really risk this. I'm already risking my life as it is. I'm already carrying around a life sentence every time I move. Anytime I go make a play, this could be a life sentence day. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go make a play, this can be a life sentence day. That's the mentality you got to have out here in the streets. Every time I go moving from there, go make a play, that can be a life sentence day. This the mentality you got to have to move around the streets, moving all that work like that. And I'm telling you, this shit ain't worth it when you look at it. You turn that shit in, them little 5, 10 year run that you have out there in the streets for down to 30 years, 25 years, 15 years. You lose all that time, all that money that you made, and you possibly can lose a loved one while you in prison. While you sitting there doing time for trying to make some money and have a name for yourself. Man, I'm going to tell you what you need to do, dog. Stay out here, man. Get your legitimate business, stack that paper up, and be able to live old. Die old man. Live to be an old man on the outside and stand on your square. Long as you can do that, dog, you winning. Food, water, and shelter is number one priority. Food, water, and shelter. Long as you can provide that for yourself, you winning, dog. That shit ain't worth it, my nigga. Trust me. I done experienced it. I understand it. I don't want to be around no motherfucking work, period. Unless I'm videoing it for a documentary. Because that shit don't add up. Every dude I know get knocked off at the end of the day. They come back home broke. Most of them. Everybody ain't going to be Big Meats. Everybody ain't going to come out here but they have to tell their story and make millions of dollars off it. You know? So I'm just trying to educate you guys, man, who may come across this channel. You know, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. You know? But that shit ain't what it is, man. Everybody, just do your research. If y'all real street niggas, you supposed to do your research on the one that came before you. If you's a real street dude, you really out there making moves, do your research, do your history on the guys that came before you and see how long their run was. Look how long their run was. 5 years, 10 years, maybe 15, that's lucky. If you do 15 years in the game, you like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. But they're going to slam your ass too. They're going to give you as a Heisman Trophy. They're going to give you as a Heisman Trophy, buddy. Trust me. Trust me. Shit. So, let's keep that in mind, man. So, when I got arrested, man, that was one of the things that went through my head, man. Damn, man, I'm going to see my mama. I hope nothing happened to my mama while I'm gone. Because you got to think about that, bro. And then on top of that, let me kick this up. I go to prison. This the funny thing about it now. Once I do go, not the funny thing, but just how sometimes life works. Now remember, I done started Street Elements magazine. At the time, we were one of the #1 magazines in state and federal prison, and we competing with magazines like the Fed magazine, Don Diva. They had to stop Feds magazine. They had to stop Don Diva magazine from coming in the system, but the Street Elements magazine was still coming in. So that's what separated us. I'm going in prison, and when I get there, most people know, hey, that's the guy with the magazine. And then some of the homies from Tampa knew me, and they kind of told the people around the unit who I was, that some of my magazine was already on the compound. Yeah, some of my magazine was already on the compound, man. You know, so that's a whole nother story too. I'm gonna run by you, but that was just something I want to let you know, man. So that time in prison, you know, gave me a different insight on life, and it also put me in the same system that my magazine is being introduced to. And it gave me the opportunity now to really see what it's like living on the inside in the feds, seeing the difference in the environment, you know. And that's why I'm here, man, to give you the real deal life of what I done out there and why I advise you not to follow in my footsteps, why it's not worth it, how you lose time and money when you go to prison. The streets really don't pay you what you think you're making. You're making this money in the streets just to give it back to the people. And that's what I'm here for, to educate you on that. To make sure you understand, man, you got way more other opportunities out there. And if you do got you some money out there in the streets, what to do with it, what type of investments to make now so that you can have something as you get older. Because most guys don't retire with nothing, bro. So let's keep that in mind. Make it happen or you cap it.